Most of the world lives by the attitude, I'll believe it when I see it type of deal. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus doesn't work that way. He says, you will see it when you believe it. Don't try to fit me into your head or understand all the questions you have about life before you can come to me. Come to me in faith and believe that I am the answer that all of mankind is chasing their tail looking for. And that will be the first day that you begin to see life clearly. Period. Amen. And I can say that on the other side of having seen it. You know what I'm saying? If we call ourselves Christians, I think there's another resurrection to talk about though. Long before Jesus raised from the dead himself, he already had proven that he had power over death. He raised Lazarus from the dead. Again, in front of massive eyewitnesses. So many in fact that it was the event that caused the Pharisees to say, whoa. This dude, we gotta kill this dude. There's no way. He's raising people from the dead at this point. You know what I mean? When Jesus rises from the grave, it says, then Simon Peter came along behind him and went into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head. The cloth was still lying in its place, separate from the linen. Jesus left all his former entanglements behind and rose into a whole new level of life. You know what I'm saying? Does anyone remember what's the first thing that Jesus tells him to do when Lazarus comes walking about the grave? It says Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out! The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped in strips of linen and a cloth around his face. And Jesus said to them, take the grave clothes off of him and let him go. Some of us in our life have heard God's clear voice call into our lives. And we've responded. We've taken steps in his direction. We're here. You know what I'm saying? But because we're still so bound to our same old grave clothes of our own life, we've never experienced resurrection living. And we can't move forward with Christ until we let go of those entanglements of the past, period. We'll tinker with religion, we'll tinker with moralism, hey, we'll do some good deeds, but we will never see the resurrection firsthand, and we'll just keep asking questions in our head. I'm not talking about just going to church or calling ourselves a Christian. I'm talking about stripping off all of the old grave clothes and walking into a new life as a new human being. I am no longer the person I used to. It's almost like I remember a dude I used to know that used to run these streets and sell drugs. Like I used to know that guy. I'm no longer the same human being I was because the old has passed away and behold, the new has come, period. When people truly see the resurrection of you and the resurrection of me, they're more likely to accept the resurrection of Jesus. You know what I mean? Where else would it come from? I didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what? I want to give away all my money and pursue truth and pursue purity in my life. No. It only happens when the resurrection happens inside of us. You know what I mean?